Hello, my lovelies. Good to see you. Good to be here with you. Happy New Year, right? It's still pretty early in 2023, as if we're still perpetuating that paradigm. So, I had lunch with one of my soul sisters yesterday. She was in town from the other side of the country, and it was so good to see her and catch up. And a couple of really important themes came up, both of which I'm going to share with you, but only one today. And I thought, oh, I need to talk about this. So we're relatively new friends. We met in Tulum in May, and and we were soul sisters right away, just like that. And because that's how soul connections work. So, yesterday we were catching up, we were telling each other a little bit of each other's stories, and I was telling her some of my story. And she said to me, wow, Winter, you're really courageous, right? So I'm going to share here, I'm going to be a little vulnerable, and I'm going to share here how, like I left a relationship with a really great guy that wasn't serving my highest purpose, right? A little while back, I left my corporate gig, right? My really cushy corporate gig that was paying me a lot of money and I wasn't working really hard, but it was soul sucking just the same. It wasn't my life's purpose. It wasn't my purpose work. And so I left the comfort and the security of all that. And I was telling her that, and she sat across the table from me. We were having lunch. I said, wow, Winter, you're really courageous. And I said, yeah, I've always had a lot of courage. And I don't say that to brag. I say that so you can know that if I can do it, you can do it too. And a couple of reasons why I've always had a lot of courage. I think one is because, growing up and up until my recent past, I suffered from anxiety, severe anxiety at times. So I was kind of comfortable being afraid. And, I heal that, and fear is still a factor, right? And some years ago, I had this other teacher. I remember he would say, fear is a compass pointing you in the direction in which to go, right? So, not fear of, walking down a dark alley where there's a potential deviant at the end of the alley that could hurt you. No, but if your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, the actions that you're contemplating taking, if they scare you, likely that's the direction in which you need to go. And if they don't, you're not thinking and dreaming big enough. So, anyway, back to our lunch, and my soul sister is, sharing like, oh, like that's really courageous. And I said, yeah, I guess it is. I guess it is. Courage has been one of my lifelong strengths. And again, I don't say that to brag. I say that to so you can know that if somebody else is doing or has already done the thing that you want to do, that you can do it too, right? That it's possible for you to do it. And that if you want support in doing those things, right, that you work with someone who's doing the things, right? So that's the second reason that I tell you the story, is so that you know that I practice what I preach, right? All the things I come online and talk about, everything that I share in my programs, I practice myself. I'm not always successful, but I practice them, right? That's why they're called practices. And so, and I know that there are some teachers out there that are not doing that, right? They're not walking the walk, and they're talking the talk, but they're not walking the walk. And I want you to know that I am. And that if you want support, right, I invite you to come to my Sync Your Soul weekend this weekend. And then that's going to lead into an ongoing program. And you can do just the weekend, right? There's no commitment to an ongoing program if you do just the weekend. But why would you want to, right? So anyway, like I mentioned these two scenarios specifically, right? Leaving the relationship, leaving the job, because I'm talking to you people, right? I'm talking to you beautiful souls. And this is what you're telling me that you need to do, and for some reason you haven't yet. And I think it's just because you need a little bit of courage, right? Which is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And you need some love and support, right? Which is I'm going to offer you in my Sink Your Soul weekend. And even before that, right? You need to release all of the emotional baggage that has been created as a result of being in a relationship too long, being in the job too long. And whatever it is that is between you, whatever the blockage, whatever the factor is that is between you and pursuing your heart's desires, right? That is probably showing up as fear, at least in some way, shape, or form. So again, I'm going to finish where I started, which is courage is not the absence of fear. And that's what my sister said to me, Amitita said to me. She's like, wow, it just goes to show that courage is not the absence of fear. It's feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And I invite you to do it with a coach, a mentor, a teacher, a support group that can help you along the way. Because even if you get the courage up, initially along the way, I have coaches, I work with coaches, and they're a godsend in that regular meeting to remind me that I am courageous, that I do have what it takes, to remind me of what I really want, right? Keep me focused, clear, and on track, because fear and negative emotions get in the way of all that. So if this is speaking to you, right, it's a sign. Take it as that sign. There's no such thing as coincidences. Click the link in the description for my Sink Your Soul program weekend event this weekend, January 7th and 8th. And if it's speaking to you, let's do the thing. Okay. And I'll look forward to seeing you then this weekend. And if not, or until then, I will see you in the gap. I love you. Mwah.